Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to this very interesting and important session. Myself, Rishi Das Agarwal. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Exploralearn. You know that we do these regular webinars related to early childhood development, related to parenting, because we know that parenting is a very challenging journey. And when we call experts, early childhood experts, to give their opinions, give their ideas, so there could be really interesting tips and tricks which you may utilize while you are nurturing your child. So today we are joined by with Miss Kinjal Gala. She's a parenting coach. She's also a psychological counselor, and she also do children counseling as well as adult counseling. And she offers a lot of guidance in terms of stress management, lifestyle changes, emotional and mental awareness. Today, she'll be discussing about understanding child emotion. Kijal, I'll just hand it over to you. If you can explain exactly what is the topic about and a brief about yourself, then that will be really helpful for the parents.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So first of all, a warm welcome to everybody. Hello, good evening. First of all, let me do this little exercise, meaning a hand exercise. Okay. So first, I would like to know how many parent of one kids will type one, and parent with two kids will type two. So quickly type. I'm a parent of a two kids, so I will type two. So parents having one kid, please type one, and parents with the two kids, please type two. And yes, of course, more than two kids can type M. Great. Wow. So, one more thing I would like to ask, dear parents. So, in your parenthood journey, let me ask you one simple thing. Was there any phase where you had felt, oh God, why did I become a parent? Or why did I become mother? Or why did I become a father? Or maybe why did I marry, first of all? So if yes, then type yeah, why? And if no, then type N. Please try quickly so that we can proceed.
I think I'll type a lot of Y's.
Yes, yeah, I understand. That's the
Yeah.
reason we are here today. Correct. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
So it is really very complicated. I mean, emotions itself is a very vast chapter, we
Mm-hmm.
can say. But I had tried to, make it short and simple so that it's understand, so that parents can understand. So the human infants are born extremely immature, and their survival requires constant physical and emotional care. Okay, can we move on to the next slide? So we all do meet the physical needs of the child, like for bathing, for feeding, for potty assistance, etc., etc. We all do understand the physical needs, but what about the emotional needs? Just one thing that is required, that is containment. That's it. But the big question, how? What is this containment? How to contain it? So let me make it simpler. First is mind mindedness. Now, what is this mind mindedness? It is actually the ability to empathize and understand other minds. Now, parents' acknowledgement of a child's mental states. Children who receive mind minded attention are more able to reflect on and the emotions. The child's mind literally grows and develops through being thought about. And there is a difference between understanding another thoughts and understanding emotions. Now, let me make it simpler. What is this mind mindedness? Is if a child is coming to you and saying something, for example, if a child has lost a toy. Now, for a child, it's a big thing. Oh God, my toy! I had lost the toy. But for a parent, it's like they just lost a toy, a big deal. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, how does this mind mindedness happen? Is when, oh my God, you had lost a toy. Come on, let's find it together. So here, the child feels that I am acknowledged. My emotions are acknowledged. I had lost something precious, and yes, there is a parent who is helping me to find it. So here, this is one way of connecting and building trust with the child. Let's move ahead. Then next is the attunement. This is how the attunement happens. Means someone being in touch with both positive and negative mental states. And what happens is, if a like for example, the child is saying, "Mama, I lost my toy," and if we say, "What happened? Just play with another toy," because parents are occupied with something else. So we say, "Okay, just play with other toy, and then we will see to it." So here the child feels neglected. But at the same time, if we can just take the 5 minutes out of it and connect with the child, then the trust is built. Then next time a child will understand, okay, this can, that I can trust my parents if I had lost something or something has happened. So that is this attunement. And some children, they expect to be understood emotionally, and then they can communicate openly. Once we understand their needs, then they can communicate it more freely. So, when such children, they then recognize their own emotions, learning that their mental states are often recognized, and then they do recognize others' emotional states. Why? Because their emotions were recognized. So the same, then they in the later stage, they are able to recognize others' emotions as well. And so moving ahead with the next slide is, so we cannot assume that empathy or the capacity to reflect on emotions is in any way natural. No, it's rather it is acquired interpersonal experience. It is this interpersonal between both the parents and the kids. And human infants too have a biological need for a protective attachment figure. They need a protective attachment figure, and also a continued absence of such person actually causes a psychological difficulties when they grow in a later stage. Also, an attachment figure becomes a secure base to return to when anxious, and the presence of this secure base gives confidence to explore and be more outgoing in the world. So when the child,
Okay. So,
yes,
yeah, please continue.
yeah,
So what you mean to say is that when we say that how the children build up emotions, so they learn from their parents to start off with.
yes,
Because if we understand, we try to understand, like give the example that, okay, if the child has lost a toy, then many times it happens that we ignore the problem,
mm,
right? We ignore this because it seems a very small question
yes,
for us, right? But
yeah,
what you are saying is that we should not ideally ignore it. We should at least try to talk to the child. But on the other hand, it is very difficult in our day-to-day life that we do these things because the children, they keep on asking a lot of questions, right? And they bombard us with questions about
yes,
one thing or the other. And as a parent, it's very difficult for us to answer all this stuff, right? Because
yes.
we are also very
We are
tired and
occupied with our
in
own
our life.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, work.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely true, true. But I mean, there is a way to it. Like we can say, okay, let's have 5 minutes, and then if we are busy, then we can, in a way, we can ask their permission. Please, can you give me five
Right.
minutes? So in this way, they feel, yes, my emotions are acknowledged. I am being acknowledged. I am being given the importance. Rather than saying, please do not disturb me. Here they feel, oh, so I am here to disturb you. They feel, their confidence levels goes down. Oh, am I the one who is disturbing my parents? So it goes below. They feel emotionally low. And at the same time, when they are emotionally low, then they don't know to whom to connect to. Whom will they go
Right.
to connect? And that's why we see the tantrums, a lot of tantrums. It takes place. So this we can say is the byproduct of not acknowledging them earlier.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yes, and I would say that each and every tantrum is actually they are trying to communicate to us something. It is just that kids don't have words for their emotions. Like they cannot say, "Mama, I'm feeling depressed." Of course, they will not say like that. Or "Mama, I am feeling happy." Or "Mama." It is just that through their facial expressions, we get that cues. Okay, that what's wrong with the child. So basically, understanding the child emotions is to understand. If the child is coming to you, of course, there is something that the child wants to communicate. That is why the child is coming to you. So if of course we are occupied, but at the same time, we need to be little mindful that if a child is coming to me, at least I can tell, "Ki, please beta, just give me 5 minutes, I will be back to you. Please just give me 5 minutes, I am into something." So in this way they will feel, yes, I am important to my parents, but also at the same time parent has got something else as well. Rather than saying, please go to your this, or go to this person, or go to that person, or just do take this toy, or that way.
Yeah, completely agree. So I think this is a very important point that what you've said, that sometimes you assume that empathy or emotions, they are a natural trait in a child that they develop, but no, that's not exactly the case. They learn from us. They see their surroundings, how we behave, how are we open towards their questions, towards their needs, and then over the period of time, they, through these, what you said, interpersonal, these experiences, these emotional things are acquired, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would like to stress upon the importance of physical closeness, and also the importance of separation from attachment figures, and the crucial nature of that early experiences. So those early experience means a lot for the child. Okay. I mean the ties, I mean that develop between the parent and the child, that affectional bond between
Mhm.
the parent and the child. It's the emotionally it's involved. The emotional involvement of both from the parent and the child. It does build over time. It it takes it builds over the time. It will not just happen in a day or so. And this is how the child starts trusting. This is how the trust
Mhm.
begins. And even in the later relationships, they follow the same pattern. So this is a very early, I would say, uh, building the pattern of emotions, like how we contain our child's emotions. The same way they will be able to contain in the later life.
Yes, completely agree. Because
Yeah.
sometimes what we have seen, in fact, many a times what we have seen, if for any reason the child is cut off, or maybe, for example, these days the children are watching a lot of mobiles, right?
Yeah.
And as a parent, we just directly go and take away the mobile. Why you're watching this mobile now? It's too much time you're spending here. So just immediately stop it. But on the other hand, uh, this is a shortcut way that we are taking.
Yeah.
Rather than that, what we could have done as a parent, as you have written here as well, I can see that we can sit with the child, because that brings that physical closeness, and then we can discuss them that, okay, what sort of activity we can do with the child, or we can discuss about their day at school, or maybe we can discuss about their friends or something. That will immediately easily distract them and build that emotional connect with the child as well.
Yes.
And this is the emotional connect somewhere that I think, because that we are lacking as a parent, and this is something what we are passing on to our children as well. That
Yes.
is the biggest challenge, that we are
Yes.
passing it on, because these days we are more into these nuclear families. Earlier we into
Mhm.
joint families with so much of uh, friends and relatives and parents were there, but
Yeah.
now this problem is increasing, and so we have to make much more effort in terms of showing our emotions to our children, right?
We have to be more empathetic.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, so before going to this attachment, I would, suggest, I will say a short scenario. Okay. So, what happens is, in the room, there is a mother and there is a 2-year-old child playing with a toy. Okay. So, what happens is, after some time, a stranger enters into the room, and the stranger is talking to the mother. And also, at the same time, the stranger is interacting with the child. Then, The mother leaves the room. Suddenly, the mother leaves the room. Of course, child
Mm-hmm.
starts crying. And after a
Mm-hmm.
few minutes, mother enters, comforts the child, and again she leaves the room along with the stranger. The stranger also leaves room. So now the child is alone in the room. Then now again the mother comes in and comforts the child. Okay. So now what are the possibilities that the child will react? In first scenario, what will happen is the child will of course cry inconsolably, but the mother comes, comforts, then the child is able to relax. In scenario 2, what happens is the child, it doesn't matter to a child whether the mother left, stranger is there, not. He is just busy with his toy. Then there is a scenario 3 where the child is crying and crying. He is so much clingy to the mother that he is not able to leave the mother or he is not able to settle down. So these are the three scenarios, and let's see one by one where does it fall into. So first is the secure attachment. Is can we move ahead? Yeah. So the child who is securely attached will of course will cry. I mean, secure child has parents who seem sensitive to them, who responded to their emotions, and who were consistently available. Okay. Secure child can explore knowing that it can rely on its attachment figure. A securely attached child is likely to show empathy when a peer cries in nursery. The secure child expect and can rely on their mothers to regulate them. So this was the child in the scenario 1 who was crying, but when the mother came, mother comforted, the child was able to relax. Why? Because the
Okay.
bond, sorry,
Yeah, please continue. So it is having a long-term effects on the child as well.
yes, true. So the bond between the mother and child was so secured that the child was able to connect to the mother. It wasn't like completely cut off. Oh my God, mother left. Now what? Mother came back. He was again able to have that attachment with the mother. So whereas in the scenario 2, we can move on to the next slide. Yeah. So this was the avoidantly attached child who just didn't bother whether the mother left, stranger is there, he is alone in the room. Why? Because this is an attachment style in which a child soon seems to be little bothered if their caregiver is not nearby or linked with more dismissive parenting styles. I mean, for avoiding children, there is little point crying if no one notices. Okay. The avoidant
Yeah.
child learns to limit its emotional expressiveness. Now, mark my words. This child is not able to express his emotions. The mother left, he is with the stranger. The stranger left, still, he is not expressing his emotions. That, oh my God, no one is there in the room, I am completely alone. Why this happened was because earlier, when the child was a baby, maybe
Yeah.
his distress wasn't taken care of. When the baby was distressed, there was a parent causing more distress, maybe. I mean, the child, maybe the baby crying, and the parent is not able to address the crying baby or soothe the crying baby. So then what is that baby going to do? The baby learns to self soothe. Then he just doesn't rely on the attachment figure. The baby just goes into this inner world, and then then the child won't express his emotions. That, oh my God, I lost my mother. It hardly matters to them. Then let's move on to the scenario 3.
Yeah, just want to these 2 points were very, very, very important because many of times, friends, many a time we have seen people in our life, or maybe in our family, or maybe through our relatives, that we say that okay, if there are people who are very emotional as well, who are caring as well, then there are people who are completely detached as well, right?
Yes.
Most of the people lie somewhere in between.
Mhm.
I'll say. But we have seen many people who get detached, who are not affected, and we say that okay, this person is so strong, he's not affected or she's not affected by anything that is happening. But
Mhm.
on the other hand, let's look at what is psychologically happening and where this
Yeah.
base was formed. This base was formed when that person was a child, a baby.
Yes.
And if your
Yeah.
child is crying and you're not paying attention at all, and you say that okay, let him or her cry, over the period of time they will stop. Definitely the child will stop over the period of time.
Yeah.
But what is exactly happening is
Mm.
that your child is getting devoid of those emotions, and over the
Absolutely.
period of time, over
True.
the period of time, such things will not affect the child,
Yeah.
and it will create certain negative, harmful effects for the child behavior as well. I
Yes.
guess
Yes.
this child will have more problems in terms of communicating to others,
Yeah.
understanding the emotions
Building
of other
trust.
people, yeah, building trust. So those small things that we ignore, right?
Hmm.
This time that we did not spend is having a huge effect, and it is carried throughout their life.
Yes. Yes.
That is a very
You can say
important
the
thing.
early trauma, like
Yeah.
the traumatic experience that the baby experienced,
Mm-hmm.
stays lifelong.
Yeah, sure. Very
Yes.
important.
Yeah. So then there's this third scenario where the baby was clingy, he wasn't able to, relax. Although the mother was there, mother is trying to comfort the baby, but the baby is just not able to relax. Why? Because ambivalently attached. I mean, this is a form of attachment associated with more clingy behaviors, generally linked to more inconsistent parenting styles. Now, these children tend to have parents who are more inconsistent. They might be very available at one moment and then seem withdrawn or preoccupied. So these children have to keep quite close eye on their carers. I mean, these children explore less as if they do not trust that there is a consistent safe base to return to, and they are more clingy and less at ease. So this what happens with an ambivalently attached kid is maybe when they were a baby, at one moment the parent was there to comfort the baby. But maybe at the other moment when the baby was in distress, the parent wasn't there. So this creates confusion within the baby itself. So that is as ambivalently attached child monitor adults very carefully because they will say, okay, are my parents coming to me or not? They will at every moment they will check whether I can trust or whether I cannot. So that's the clingy behavior that once they get their mother, they will just grab the mother. They will just not leave it because they don't know when the mother might leave and they might be left alone without mother. So this is third scenario where child is ambivalently attached.
Yeah, so I guess we have seen these scenarios. And it's just
Yeah.
that we never had this scientific explanation for these
Yeah.
things. So what we have seen that when we spend time with the child, someday today I'm very happy with the child, I'm playing with the child, I'm listening to whatever my child is saying. So they're happy, and it is encouraging them to reach out to us again more,
Yes.
right? But the next time when they reach out to us, maybe
Mm.
because of a personal reason or anything, we just shoo them away. Okay,
Yeah.
do not disturb me right now. I do not want to talk. Please go to your room. Okay,
Mm.
or do your something, do your this thing.
Yeah.
Right now, that is, I think that is what you're saying is giving two completely different signals to
Mm.
the child that okay,
Yes.
one time I'm completely available, and next time when he's coming or she's coming, uh, we are not going ahead going with gentle way of saying it. We are
Mm.
just shunning them away that okay, just go away, and we don't realize that that is creating confusion in the mind of the child, that
Yes.
next time how they should approach us.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Very
Yes.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is really important to remember that the children in all these groups are attached to their parents and their attachment styles are all successful strategies for staying close to their parents. Of course, child wants to connect to the parent, but how? But how is that attached? How that attachment is built?
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
now this category I had kept it separate. That is disorganized attachment. Uh, there is also a fourth scenario where a child will scream, will cry, or sometimes might bang his head in the wall when the mother left, when the stranger left, because he was completely alone in the room. And this, we term it as a disorganized attachment. By disorganized attachment is because this is an attachment style in children who have had frightening experiences with their parents and either have given up on developing a coherent strategy to respond or who become hyper vigilant. I mean, the parent who should provide comfort when distressed was for these children often the person causing the distress, such as by being violent. And so these children could not find a way of getting their attachment needs met. I mean, in a worst scenario where we had seen abuse, child abuse. So here, child finds this find difficult to connect to the parents because the parents who was there to connect, who was there to comfort the child, the parent itself is causing a distress. Now, where is the child will go? No? His
Right.
whole world falls apart in this disorganized attachment. And then in the later period, they have a severe psychological issues in the later life when they grow up. Like if
Yeah,
we
so sometimes,
the
yeah.
criminal's mindset, they usually fall into this category. You might not realize, but yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess this is more towards uh, when we see a lot of violence at home, right? Domestic violence or people shouting or abusing a lot, because the children are very sensitive and they get very scared.
Yes.
And when the parent is shouting, I'm not going to child abuse right now, but even if the parent is shouting a lot, now the
Hmm.
child is scared and they cannot express their feelings, right, to
Yes.
anyone because they are scared, and that leads to when they feel exasperated or anything they want to communicate and the parent is not listening because they themselves are getting very hyper. so
Yeah.
so it creates a lot of frustration inside which is building inside the child, and
Hmm.
we see a lot of children who show this frustration by just shouting
Hitting.
sometimes, yeah, hitting themselves, hitting the wall, because there is no other way to express themselves.
Yeah.
And these things which are building up, and if they build up in negative way, then it encourages the child to go towards more negative thing, negative people, negative companies, and they
Absolutely.
adopt negative lifestyles.
Yes.
So I think that is where the direction is going.
Yeah.
So as a parent, I guess what I'm getting is that we should be very careful about
Hmm.
what sort of atmosphere we are building at home,
Yeah.
specifically in terms of shouting or getting violent or doing things which creates a very negative impact on the child.
Yes.
Right? They should not feel at least shameful about the
Hmm.
parent for the
Yeah.
parent, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. So, these attachment styles are a testament to a child's ability to adapt to their environment. And children internalize an idea of what relationships are likely to be like. And this becomes a non conscious model in their minds and internal representation of themselves in relation to others. Children who are secure expect positive interactions with others. Avoidant children screen out painful effects in themselves and do not recognize this in others. They cannot see the emotions of the other persons because their own emotions were not acknowledged. So this
Acknowledge
happens
that.
with an avoidant children. Then with an ambivalent child can be so anxious that they make endless demands to avoid abandonment but are less able to learn to regulate their own emotional needs. Then Lastly, the disorganized children, however, are in the most parlous state. Why? Because often in relationships, they tend to be inflexible as well as unpredictable. Because the trust themselves, they don't know what the trust is. So it happens in the relationship as well in the later life that they have got the trust issues. So can you see how much early these things are building up? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of important. These 4 points were really important, and I guess if we look at our children now, I guess every one of us can categorize in these four categories.
Yeah.
So many a times as a parent, we ask to the counselor, we ask to the many parents reach out to us as well that how to how to build the confidence of my child, how to keep them happy, how to ensure that they are ahead in the class, how to ensure that they are outspoken, extrovert, whatever things. But
Yes.
on the other hand, it's all coming down to first what environment you are giving at home,
Yes.
how you are treating them during the childhood.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy to create a secure environment that you said, right?
True.
Because you have to spend time with your child, even though you are yourself stressed out.
Yeah.
And that is something you have to do consistently so that they build that confidence that, okay, I can reach out to my mama, I can reach out to my father, and I can express my emotions because that will enable them to discuss all their small problems maybe right now, but
Yeah.
bigger problems at a later stage. So that is the effort that is required from our side. And also I got to know that okay, that when we just avoid the child, leave the child and say that okay, they will manage everything on their own.
Mm.
Okay, sometimes as a parent that we are thinking that okay, we are building independence in the child, we are making the child more independent,
Yeah.
but at this young age, that is exactly not the requirement.
Hmm.
You need to guide them, and you
Yeah.
need to give that confidence to them that okay, they can try new things, they can explore new things, and that confidence is something what you said, that they should have a secure home base for the same.
Hmm.
Right. And so these are very important points. And definitely the ambivalent child, again, I think this happens with everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Ambivalent is
Absolutely.
something that
Yes. Yes.
happens with everyone,
Yeah.
because today we are going in a very positive way, interacting with the child, and next day we are just sending the completely different signal
Yeah.
that we are aloof and we do not want to talk. So
Hmm.
let's try to be consistent. That is the idea.
Hmm.
And disorganized is something definitely then it is up to you to create a positive environment at your home. If you're not doing that, then definitely it will definitely affect your child very negatively. And I tell you, the as the child grows bigger, these challenges will increase, because at young age you can still model them, you can
Yes.
still mold them,
Yeah.
but after a time you will find it very
Yeah.
difficult to make the changes.
Then the
So it's
connection
better
won't
to
even
start it.
happen with the child
Yeah.
in the later stage.
Yes.
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 I will come to the point later. How we can be consistent. I mean,
Yeah. I think so many points are raised now.
yes.
I think we need some
True.
solution as well.
Yeah. So just to sum up with parents who show mind-minded skills tend to focus on their children's subjective states, on what they are feeling, thinking, and experiencing. Now, people's behavior is driven by psychological and emotional factors. Parental sensitivity is more important than the inherited temperament. When the human infant is sufficiently adaptable to be able to survive in a range of emotional climates. So, like I was saying about how to be consistent in the today's world where where mostly all the parents are working, so it really becomes very difficult to connect with the child. So we can connect in a way like child would love to listen. We can say that what, today mama is really busy, today papa is really busy, papa has got so much work, has got so much of homework, so that is why we cannot sit for the story time right today. I'm really sorry for that. So this will create an environment where the child will acknowledge things that yes, my parents are busy, he will feel that this is a genuine reason that we are, rather than showing them, shoving them off. That please do not disturb me, I'm busy. Rather than just shoving them off, we can connect this way. We can connect. And I will tell you that kids, they would love to help parents. When we say, now please, will you help me? Can you please, for 5 minutes, will you just help me with the homework? You do this thing and I will do this thing. So for them, it is like a play, but we know
Right.
how. So we have to take it in a playful form. So we are doing our thing also. At the same time, we are taking care of the emotional needs of the child. We are not hurting them in a way. So yes, that's I think so. We should be open to the query.
Yeah. So thanks. It was very interesting and important session that you took. In fact, while talking to you, I just realized incident that happened. I think so. What happened? My son. So he was not going downstairs for continuously 3 4 days to play,
Okay.
and every time I was asking, he was saying no, and he was watching a bit of mobile. So one thought that that came to my mind is that I need to just scold him, make him go downstairs and let him play. Then I thought, okay, let's try something a different tactic. So I told him, let's do one thing. Why don't we wake up early morning tomorrow at 6 and let's go to park. We'll walk together. Okay, we'll play for some time in the park and then we'll come back. And he was immediately ready.
Mm.
And the next day, we both went to the park. Then we played for table tennis for some time, and we did this routine for 2 3 days. And the fourth day, I realized that he himself started going out to play with other kids, and in the evening. So I don't know what was the change that happened, but what I realized is somewhere it's falling the first point that when you're spending the time to your child, you are making trying to make that emotional connect, then they open up with you, and when they open up with you, then they start to take in things, absorb things in a more positive way. And it's not that you need to require to do very big things, as you said that okay, maybe today I'm busy, I cannot sit with my child for some time, but it's very important to explain that thing to them. It's very important to say that okay, today I'm tired, or today this thing is happening, and tomorrow I'll do it. But yes, you need to ensure that you do that thing tomorrow, because
Yeah.
ultimately your child is going to be your responsibility.
Yes.
Okay, how you bring them up is not going to be dependent on any school or other things. It's
No.
the confidence that you need to build. So
Yeah.
I have a question. I'll just change the slide, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I have a question, Kinjal. So there is a question that is there, that how to calm the child who's crying or throwing tantrums for different things at a time. Sometimes we see that children just they cannot
Yeah.
express themselves, right? So they just get angry, a lot of crying. We try to pacify them, give them toys, but they still keep on crying. What to do?
So see, since the children, they are growing physically as well, mentally, physically, they are growing. So there is a stage, where children, they are feeling, they feel lazy at times. There are times where the child will feel hyperactive because their body is constantly changing. They are growing. So at the same time, what happens is when these internal changes are happening, the child doesn't know. Okay, and tantrum is a way to communicate that something is going on. So at that time, it is very important to stay with that child, to connect with the child. And for a while, let the child be in that moment of crying, because at that time he will not listen anything. Let that phase pass where the child has done with the crying, or done with the tantrum, or done with the shouting. We have to bear that phase, and then when the child is ready, we can connect by saying, I can see that you are upset with something, can you please share with me? So then, this way they will feel more helpful, that yes, my parent wants to know why I'm upset. Because many a times it happens that they don't have words for their emotions. I mean, they will not come and tell you that, Mama, I'm feeling upset today, or Mama, I'm feeling angry today, or Mama. They will just show, these things. So we have to give label to that emotions. That yes, I can see something is bothering you. Yes, I can see something is you are upset with something. So can we please share? Will you please tell me? This way, the child will feel more, acknowledged that yes, my mama is asking, and then they will come up. This mama, this thing happened, and it happens sometimes that child will say, no, I don't want to talk to you right now. And we have to bear that thing, because once we also told them that I do not want to talk to you, so now the child is reflecting that back. So we have to bear that thing and say, okay, my dear, I understand that you're right now in not the mood to talk to me. Okay, then please tell me when you can will be talking to me. So then let that child, let's create that environment where the child can
Yes, yes.
explore their emotions by giving
Yes.
them
In fact,
options.
in fact, I'll just add to this. So, for example, if your child is very young, because many of our parents have very young children, then many times it happens that their communication skills, their speaking ability is not as developed as we adults, right? Like
True.
us adults. So
Yes.
they don't know. So if they do not like something or if they want something, they don't know how to express themselves, how to tell you that exactly what they want,
Mm.
right? And that builds somewhere the frustration inside the child. Okay,
Yes.
and when the if that frustration builds, then the easiest way for them is to start crying or to start throwing things. So as a parent, what you can do, first of all, you need to calm down. So the easiest way that we have seen how to calm down our child is to distract them with certain activity, or give them something which will distract them for the time being. Okay, and then let them calm down. And when they calm down, then you need to work on their communication skills as well. Communication skills means how the child is going to express themselves. So uh, how any child wants to express themselves. So, for example, if I am good in something, for example, if I am good in, let's say, singing, and you ask me to talk about singers and singing, then I can do that for maybe hours. Similarly, it's for young children as well. If
Mm.
you find what thing they are interested in, and for that you need to give them different sort of things, right? Then the child will have interest in that particular thing. They'll become more confident about the particular thing, and they would like to express themselves. Okay, they
Yes.
would like to talk about that particular thing. So this is a way how you are enabling the child to communicate more, to express themselves more, and this is how you are going to bring the calmness to them. In
Mm.
fact, if you see at Exploralearn, we also do these sort of things. We create this skill development program which focus on problem solving, communication building, confidence building through different activities, because it's very difficult to find out what engages the child the most. So
Mm.
you have to try and give them different ways, different activities, different exploratory areas, and then you need to find out in which things your child is more interested in, and then first at the first stage you need to reinforce those things, and then you start introducing new things.
Mm.
So that is for younger children. For older children also, as Kinjal rightly pointed out, that we need to give them some time. We need to calm them down, and then after some time we need to ask them again, what is the problem? What do you want to
Yes.
share? What happened? And
Yeah.
when you keep on doing this, this will build some trust in the child, and then
Absolutely.
they will be able to explain it to you. Now,
Connect.
again, it's up to you how you are going to take that thing, right? Because it's not that you need to understand what the
Mm.
child problem is
But
facing.
yeah.
You need to empathize with them, and then you
Yes.
need to try give a positive solution, not a negative solution, but a
Yeah.
positive solution to your child.
Yes. We
So,
need to
so.
use more of an affirmations. You know,
Mhm.
so that will build up positive relationships when we use
Yeah,
more of affirmations. Yeah.
we can have a separate session on affirmations, because the power of affirmations is something
Yeah.
mind-boggling, and it affects the
And
subconscious mind in a
and
way.
right now,
So maybe
the net
we
is
can.
bombarded with all the affirmations and everything. True, true.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I think for everything that you do, you will adopt it only once you understand the basic logic behind it. Okay, because if you or I say something, you will not accept it until unless your mind logically accepts that. So
Hmm.
definitely we need to work on to find out how and why affirmations exactly work.
Hmm.
Okay, so I have another question that sometimes the child is getting friendly with all babies and toddlers meeting, sometimes feeling very shy or reserved. I don't understand how to make him talk or play with others. Okay, so again, sometimes the child is very friendly and sometimes they just go in their shell. They do not want to talk, right?
So the
Yeah,
children, they all have got their own temperament. They have got their own nature. Even we all are a different personality, right? Not everybody will be introvert or not everybody will be extrovert. So same is with the
right,
child. No, what our duty as a parent is just we have to just nurture their nature. We don't have to change their, that, oh, why are you introvert, you have to be extrovert, or why are you shy, you have to be. In fact, rather than that, what we can do is when a child is shy, I had seen many a times, parents, they are pushing their child. Why are you so shy? Go, 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 go. Take participate in this, participate in that. The child doesn't want to. It is a child's nature that he doesn't want to. And we have, as a parent, we have to accept that thing. That yes, my child, he doesn't like to participate in certain things. If we, how is the child going to develop confidence if we only try to change them again and again, that you have to be this, you have to be that? No,
uh-huh.
that's not our job. Our job as a parent is just to nurture their nature. They have with, they have, everybody have their own personality, and let that bloom, let that personality bloom, and have
Yeah,
confidence in your child.
yeah, very important because sometimes we expect that, okay, there's a competition going on. Why my child is not participating? The better solution is what is the steps and the building blocks that you have taken to prepare your child for that particular thing.
Yes.
It's not that you one day just start expecting the child to just become a public speaker or so much confident. Are you instilling? Are you giving that confidence to the child at home, or are you leaving your child completely to school? That okay, whatever is going to happen is going to happen at school. If and it's the responsibility of the school to improve your child. Sorry, it's not the responsibility of the school. The teacher has already 25 to 30 students to take care of,
Yes.
and her main aim is to pass all the students to the next class.
Yeah.
But if you want to build confidence in your child, we all have seen that there are
Hmm.
certain kids who are outspoken and then in the school they are selected for all the things, for whether it's related to debating, whether it's related to maybe sports, maybe related to singing, depending on different field.
Yes.
But remember, they are good in those things because of the environment that they are getting at home, the encouragement that the parent are giving in that particular field at home. And definitely you need to find out the interest areas of your child and then encourage them in those interest areas. It could be there are so many hundreds of fields which are there.
Yeah.
Okay, but as a parent, most of the time we are ourselves are sticking to Instagram and YouTube and
And we also want to,
TV
highlight
show.
our kids that see my kid is doing this thing. We are into so much of a social media right now that all the parents, they rush in the social media showing that see my kid's talent, see my kid's talent. But
Yeah, yeah.
is it really helping the child? We need to understand, is it really helping the child by these things? Yes.
I
So
think it's become more important that as a parent we become more focused
hmm,
towards the child needs and
yeah,
not needs, but what is the right methodology, what is the right parenting. In our heart, we know what is the right way. Sometimes we do not recognize it because we are not giving ourselves too much of time.
yes,
Okay, because our time is being eaten away by all these gadgets and other things. So definitely the child is just emulating exactly what we are
yes,
doing. So,
absolutely.
Kinjal, thanks for this amazing session.
I
I
think
must
so
say
guys,
that
like let's cover this thing one session,
yeah,
query.
yeah. So
Ah,
the yeah, okay, sorry, I missed that.
no,
So
that's
the child cries in every
every
simple things. Yeah, things which are not worthy of crying because for small things, maybe for even the smallest thing, if it's not maybe in front of the child, they're crying, right? So how to respond to that at that particular point of time? And
First of
I'm talking,
all,
I think it's about young child. I think we are talking about young child here,
yes, yeah, maybe.
maybe 3, 4 years. Yeah.
So for a child, if a child is crying, that then it's not a simple thing. Definitely the for that child, that thing is really big. Like for an example, if I tell you once happened that my kid came running to me and saying that Mama, my doll is not doing potty. I'm telling her to do the potty, but she's not doing the potty. Now we know it's such a silly thing. How is a doll going to do potty? But I also, engaged with her and say, okay, chalo, let's try different ways to make your doll do it. Okay, what ideas do you have? And this way. So then the child, felt that yes, my things were, and then for after that, the child just kept the doll away. So many times what happens is what I understood was that child is trying to, just wants an interaction with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Even the
So you
child
have to
was
become
knowing
child
that this
with
is
the child.
such a small thing, but he just wanted to know how am I responding to him. So whenever we say, okay, such a simple thing is crying for such a small thing. No, it might not be a small thing for that kid. We need to put our, feet in their shoes and think, why is it crying for that thing? What is that? Why is that attached so much with that thing? Or what is that thing that is bothering him? That he's crying for that thing. So we need to communicate with the kid so to understand. And when once it happens, twice it happens, then the kid will understand slowly and gradually. And maybe then next time you might not bother you with a small thing. So I hope I had
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I completely agree with this. So as you said that the thing is not small for the child. It's
yeah.
very important for the child, and
Hmm.
you need to become maybe for that particular moment. You yourself need to become that child. You need to
Yes.
find out what is troubling your child, and playfully try to solve that issue with the
Hmm.
child, and
Yes.
then show it to your child that okay, this was not such a big deal. Okay, and they if they start understanding that point that okay, it's not such a big deal, then I think next time they will not exactly cry for that particular thing.
uh, yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so now I think we would like to wind up the session now. We would really thanks Kinjal for coming here. Her email ID and mobile number is already given on the screen. You can directly reach out to her. And I guess yeah, is there any other question that we have? Yeah.
Yes.
But at times start hitting other kids. It's very difficult to handle. So, Kinja, would you like to take this last question?
Yes, it is very difficult to handle. What can be done? It's in a
Yeah,
playtime.
because sometimes the
Time.
child plays a
Yes.
lot, then they immediately start hitting
So
other kids. Yeah,
the toddlers, with the toddlers, is sometimes, when they are playing with their playmates, something that triggers them. And then there is this reaction to that action. Okay. So you need to actually understand, what is that something might be triggering that kid. That's why he is hitting. And many times it happens that even during the playtime, the kid might be feeling that okay, I'm in a danger, and in that to defend themselves, they do this thing. So it is very important to observe while their playtime what is actually happening and when what is he actually getting triggered with. So I hope I'm
yeah.
able.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I think this is a session where we got very important points related to how to understand that why a child is emotionally connected, not connected, and other things that we covered. In fact, I must request all the parents that because as you know that Kinjal is a psychological counselor. She's into psychological counseling as well. She's into adult counseling, child counseling as well. So as we saw in this particular session, that sometimes the challenges that we are facing has a hidden scientific reason, and there are solutions to it. It's just that you need to reach out and discuss your problems, and you need to reach out to the right person. So maybe you can reach out to Kinjal for any advice, any any challenges that you're facing. Maybe if you take certain sessions, that will really help you. On the other hand, as you know, at Exploralearn, we are also focusing on your young children, and we create these skill development activities which makes your child smarter at home. So I'll definitely suggest you to try these activities because they build the confidence in your child, they improve the communication skills, they bring that improvement of attention span which is lacking. So it helps them a lot. And most of you are also using our worksheets. So I hope you are loving the worksheets that we are providing. We are increasing the number of worksheets and increasing the classes that we are catering to. And over the period of time, you will see a lot many features that we'll be building, that we'll be coming up with. So definitely would suggest you to try out our worksheets. If you want, you can buy our worksheets. We are providing it at a very
Or
nominal
one more
cost.
thing I would like to add. Here is, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
please.
Look, your worksheets, you won't believe, but whenever I'm literally busy a lot, I show your worksheets to my kids. So then I know for a next hour they are busy with the worksheets, and then I am able to do my job. So the worksheets that you have provided is really, up to the mark, I feel. They are more engaging with the kids. It is not, they don't need an adult to guide them what you are supposed to do. Like for my kids, when I show them, Acha, mama, we have to do these things. And I feel, oh, Acha, really? Wow, you know these things? Then do it. So this way, they are
Yeah,
also engaged, and even I am, relief at a relief that I can do my job then.
yeah, thanks for the feedback. But I must
Yeah.
tell you, Kinjal, the worksheets that we have, it's on the basis of our 7 years of experience in this field,
Yeah.
and the activities that we have created. We have supplied them to schools in India, abroad. A lot of parents are using it. They are simply amazing, and there is nothing
True, true.
like that.
Absolutely. Yes.
The skill development activities that we provide, the program that we have, nothing like that. We have received feedback from thousands of parents. They have never seen anything like this in
True, true.
Indian market,
Absolutely true.
and we
In
do
fact,
not
your
compromise
worksheets,
on the quality and yeah.
they actually cover all the subjects, your worksheets, and in a very, playful, they don't feel that as if I'm giving them a homework or anything like that. And in a very playful manner, they do it. So that's the biggest, I think, so biggest compliment for for your team, that so much you had been thoughtful to prepare these worksheets to make it so much engaging with the kids. And it covers literally all the subjects, I feel. Your worksheets, it is like a complete a package in one kit. Yes.
Yeah, actually, when we discuss with experts like you, it just reinforces that yes, parenting is not a easy journey, and there's a lot of efforts that parents need to make. And one of the reasons that we are having this webinars is, as a parent, we do not find the right tools every time. We do not know whom to reach out for things. Every day, everyone is giving gyan on YouTube. So
Yes.
that is not the right way. So
Mhm.
our aim is that to make parenting a easier journey, a rewarding journey, a journey where a child really blossoms and becomes the better person. They become a better person. That is the basic idea, and this is the reason that contribution of yours and everyone, whether it's related to our worksheets, whether it's the parents that who are coming up, and this expert like you who are taking out your valuable time to come these sessions. So it's very important, and I'll just request the parents to make use of these tools, to make use of these opinions, advice, and definitely reach out to the concerned person so that you get the right direction and right handholding. And that is, I think, what is the common aim of the complete community, right?
True. Yes.
Okay, Kinjal, thanks
Yeah.
for your time. So yeah, if anyone wants to reach out to Kinjal, her mobile number and
So,
email, Insta ID is already given here. Okay, if you want to know about our products, explore our own skill development programs, you can just check out our website or reach out to us via WhatsApp. If you want to know about our worksheets, there are a lot of new features we are bringing up. So right now, I'm not going to discuss about it because it's still work in progress. So a lot of things you'll be seeing. So just stay connected with Explore Learn community, and I hope you take away some good, very good, positive 2, 3 points from this webinar.
thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
thanks,
so much.
Kindle. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
Have
you.
a
Yeah.
great day.
Bye-bye.